everyone, here is how I did this multiple layer shadow smocked heart design for Valentine's Day. Of course, take this concept and apply it to any motif that you like. Just run with it. After all, it is sewing, so you do you. And as always, all the materials and timestamps are linked down below. Okay, so I am using this pink Imperial Batiste as my background fabric, if you will. So I'm going to cut it wider than it needs to be, and I made sure that it was at least as long as my bishop. I happen to be doing this on a bishop, so I'm making sure that it's at least as long as my bishop fabric. And when I say as long, I'm referring to the length from one center back all the way around the neckline to the other center back. Just keep this in mind as you are applying this concept to your project. So first I'm going to pleat up this fabric, and something that is important to remember is to pull out enough thread so you can flatten your fabric out again. As you can see, I am just knotting all of the threads, just the whole shebang together, and trimming up those ends. And then I take this to my blocking board. This is a super helpful board that I have shown in a number of my other videos, and it is linked down below. On one side of the board is a bishop sizing guide, and the other side has some decorative shapes that I'll show in a bit. Henry says hello. So I block the piece, and I make sure that the middle of my fabric is at that middle position on my blocking board. Then I flip my board over and I trace a scallop. Then I sketch out the heart shape that I want. Of course, you could use your computer to do this instead. Now, this lighting board thing is a relatively new tool for me, and I have it linked down below. It is super thin, really well built, and a great light source. It uses a mini USB to USB cable to charge it, you know, those cables that we all have 500 of these days. And I just really love this whole thing. But anywho.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Audrey. So I trace the scallop edge at the bottom of my fabric and then place the group of 3 hearts as I want them. You know what I say, it is sewing, so you do you. After I have my hearts and scallop edge traced, then I pull my pleated fabric flat. Now these marks are going to look a little bit funny and even a bit of a hot mess, but you just need to connect the dots and kind of smooth things out. And I do have a downloadable PDF on my Etsy site if you'd rather go that route for these hearts. So the hearts are going to be out of this red Imperial Batiste, which is why I'm tracing the shape onto that fabric, and then I'm going to label each one like number 1, 2, and 3, etc. all the way up to number 9. I'm doing 9 of them.
Mama,
I carefully... Oh, I see your jean. That's very nice.
Yeah.
I carefully cut them out and then pin them in place. I use this water-soluble thread to base my hearts into place, and then I cut those knots off of the threads and pull the threads out. And I give my fabric a quick ironing, being careful not to iron over that scallop mark since I marked them in a heat-activated pin. Now, before I run my fabric through the pleater with my garment fabric, I take this water-soluble glue and I use that to tack down the ends of the heart. I clip up any fray threads on those hearts and then pin this fabric to my garment fabric. And I'm going to base the top edge into place with some straight stitches, and then I'm going to zigzag around the bottom edge. And finally, I give everything one last ironing and pass it through my pleater, and voila, 2 layers of shadow smocking. Of course, you could rinse and repeat for multiple layers. You could add more layers to those hearts if you want them to be, you know, even bolder of a color. But I think you get the concept. So from here, I finished my garment like usual and back smocked everything, as well as outlined those hearts in red. And I have another tutorial on how to outline hearts. It's not as simple as you may think. I'm sorry this voiceover was a hot mess, but it's the best that I can do. I still hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I hope to catch y'all next time. Good Lord.